could go around and open this one.
How you doing? Check
I'm not
one.
too bad.
Well, we'll see what we can do about it.
Ah!
How you doing? It's working. Hello, Bob. Hello, gentlemen. And Joe.
You're abusing that book.
Say something.
Something.
Hey, it's gonna pick you up.
I would
Hello,
hope.
Bob.
All right, we're live. It's time to act like we got some sense.
What's that?
I said if we're live, it's time to act like we have some sense.
Might need to
Yeah,
wait till the
right.
meeting starts. It's time for that. Oh.
Have some sense. Why start now?
You speckled now. You know, I moved to daily contact about 6 months
I
ago.
did too.
I like them, but I find they mess up my eye more though. Like I'll find them getting folded in my eye more.
They're so thin.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
They're very comfortable. Hello.
I'm not sure yet. I got about a 6 month supply when I got them. I'll just see if I reorder the same thing or not.
What's your password?
Hydrochlorobenzene.
Seriously?
Which one? You don't.
Martian Embassy. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5.
That's to get on the Wi-Fi.
Which is not connected to the internet.
Well, I mean, well, that's
That's not,
yeah. You can connect to the internet through that.
really?
Yeah.
Since when?
It's a hotspot.
Well, that's why I asked you what the password was.
KITE 91 ODX.
Now hopefully that just didn't go out over
It doesn't matter. I'll change it all the time anyway.
that feedback.
I like it.
Turn your speaker off. You connect?
Yeah. Why it's feed? It's not my machine feeding back.
Yeah, it's mine over here apparently. Here's somebody. Did you get in? I'm trying to figure out what kind of problems you were having the other day with our, trying to get to our YouTube channel.
Well, every link on the YouTube channel was archived footage.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Go into our webpage and let me see what's happening.
Well, no, if I go through the webpage, it gets to the live feed. If I go through the YouTube channel, it goes to nothing but archived footage. That's the way it was. I think it's corrected since then.
Well, it should be okay if you know, I'm telling everybody get to it from the webpage.
Yeah.
Oh, Scott.
We went to a few more. But you're right.
So let's see, this is
It's the first time I've worn a tie in 6 months. Well, this is the first time I've worn a tie in 6 months. So
that should be what I'm seeing right now.
That's what we're sending right now.
Okay.
Now, I think they go across everything. I've been there. I don't know where to be on, but that's not our webpage. That's a search.
I've never done that.
Go in, there you are.
I would like to do some YouTube
That's
stuff.
not set up clearly. It's not on your end, it's on their end.
Well,
It's not-
you know, I tell people, go to our webpage, click on
Yeah,
it.
that's worked every time.
Vacation.
Well, we could watch the hearings live.
And I didn't start taking summers until
When we get started with the meeting, I'm gonna cut that booger down on low.
maybe 2007 or so.
Cut what on low?
There.
That's a bad idea. It's hot in here already.
For 20 years.
Well, it was on when I got here.
Yeah, they
So you-
turned it on before it came down.
Good morning.
Nothing left.
The little camera I wanted to use, I'm not using our good camera, but the little camera,
Well, we did take vacations and he did take some of my husband. He was in the military, 21 years in Boston.
I've got another little camera I'll show you in here.
There was a time.
We are live and we are sending
9
sound.
years, I would take a week off to teach at a music camp in West Virginia, but I had to take that off without paying.
I hear Whistler's brother over there.
So,
I'd say we go.
Anybody else coming?
Gary rolls up here.
Gary is, he's bringing snackage.
I've got ice.
I got a cup.
Verification.
I guess he'll get up here when he gets here.
Still got too much garbage here in the middle of the floor.
Never in this room.
You better be careful with the garbage middle of the floor. You have a hard enough time getting around as is.
Yeah, really.
You about back to normal from where you were a
Normal?
few days ago? From
Wait
where
a
you
minute.
were a few days
Wait,
ago.
Normal?
Nobody ever claiming you're normal.
No, no. It's okay. I didn't have to go to the doctor yesterday.
That's good.
Simply because he was not available.
I didn't have to because idiot wouldn't see me again.
Well, put it this way, that's the first time I haven't had to go to a doctor's appointment at 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning since July.
Wow.
Wow.
Be there in 15, Gary says.
All right.
Well, then we'll get started.
We can get started and
Who's
then
gonna
come
take
back.
minutes for him?
Somebody start a roster on, I'll start a roster.
got it.
Somebody will take minutes,
Yeah.
I'll start a roster.
Hopefully before he gets there, our only minutes will be.
I'll start the minutes, I can just hand in the paper when he hits.
Look at you. All right, well, let's call this thing to order and get rolling here. When Gary gets here, we'll just have him do the minutes at the end. We can wrap
That's
up
fine.
that way.
What's today, 9th?
Today is the, probably, the 9th. It's one of those days. Oh, so since we're not doing the minutes, are you set up, Jeff, to do money talk?
Yeah, I will here in a minute. Let me get my implements out here. Everybody sign in. All right, let me pull up what I got here. First of all, folks, we are streaming live right now, as you can see. And if you call it up on your phone with your volume turned down, you should be able to see it and hear it.
Or if you look left and look right, you'll be able to see it and hear it too.
So don't pick your nose. Let me pull up the money. It really hadn't changed anything from last month. I didn't have any other checks that went out or anything that came in. We did get a new member applied. I haven't processed that. I just got it today. Somebody from Charlotte. So I'll put them in on the thing. Let me find it here. All right, the money that we have in here, in our checking account, is still somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,390.14. 2390.14. And our PayPal account, which is not totally tied to BobFest, has $852.98. I still have about $230 worth of bills to pay for BobFest. I have not sent the check in for the one room yet. There's a few of them in there. Most of those are honorariums. As a matter of fact, both of them are honorariums and a check to Garmin.
And we still never have got an invoice for our programs?
No. You're talking about the printed program?
The printed programs,
No,
yeah.
We got an invoice for the Kaiser room.
Right.
And that's been taken care of. If we decided to spend money right now, we have $942.67 in our undesignated funds. We have $707 in our small used telescope fund. And I want to thank Bob for running that up, selling a lot of these telescopes and putting them back in. LMO fund for operations that we hold in our checking account is $191.79. If we need supplies here, we have $33.64 available for that. And currently, our balance in BobFest for next year is $1,138.02. Don't ask me where the 2 cents came from.
We don't want your 2 cents worth.
No. So that's what that is, and everything's stable and looking good. Any questions?
The LMO maintenance fund, that's $19,179.
Yeah, I wish.
$191.
$191.79. I'm
You-
sorry.
Yeah, but you didn't tell me where the decimal point was. and that
But
makes a
between the
difference.
1 and the 7.
Right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Now you were asking about that. The other fund that we do have here is the LMO does have a separate account over here. We have $106.17 in our petty cash box, which is held in a secure, undisclosed location in the back room in the locked cabinet. And the school system fund that we have, that held by the school system, is still.
Keep going. I'm muttering to myself about something.
It's
unrelated.
not me, is it?
No,
Good.
if I were doing that, it would be out loud.
The held by the school system is $14,253.26, and I don't know if that number's going up or down. They don't seem to be taking anything out of it or putting anything into it. So that's our position right now. And I do have a $20 membership fee coming in. Someone. Any questions? Good.
And I guess while you got your handy dandy phone up there, you got some calendar info. I know Nora
Yeah.
sent out email
Yeah.
and text, so
Yeah, I went ahead and put those things on there. If you want me to go ahead and cover that, I can.
if you would please
I will
find
do
Sir
so.
Ish.
Let me see here. Let me find it. Okay, you want me to go over what we've already done and the numbers of that first and then do the upcoming calendar? Or
That's-
what do you
yeah,
want?
yeah,
All
that's
right.
fine.
What we did, we've had a pretty good thing here. Our last astronomy club meeting on May 12th only had 8 members here, but that's all right. Barnes and Noble, we had about 6 to 8 people from the club helping on and off during the day, and I'm estimating 151 visitors, maybe more, maybe less. That turned out really good. May 15th, the eclipse that we had down here, we actually had 3 members and 3 visitors. So
clouds.
that turned out, everybody came in to look at clouds. We did see 8 seconds worth of eclipse. Public observing, on the 20th, we had, May 20th, we had 8 members and 5 visitors. BobFest meeting, I showed it. Don't worry about that.
Bobfest meeting, I think it was Joe and
How
I.
many people were there? About 5 people?
You're looking at Joe and I. We stared at each other and Dwayne showed up.
All right.
Frank was there.
And the last,
He did come in at the
on
end.
June 3rd, the public observing, we had 2 members and 1 visitor here. That turned out to be kind of a wash. Now, coming up, we're here now, and we are streaming. The next thing that we have coming up is June 17th, public night. And we are running from 9 until 11 on our public nights through August, because it doesn't get dark enough to do diddly squat before then. July 1st, public night, Friday. Tuesday, July the 5th, I'm on the radio again. Thursday, July the 14th, Astronomy Club meeting at 7:30 at the Catawba Science Center. No,
Right. Which is where it should be tonight, but we moved it.
And then back on the 15th there in July. I don't know why I'm going that far ahead. Now, I do have a couple of other things here. Nora Coffey added a couple of things on here on Saturday, and these are tentative until we talk about them. Saturday, July the 16th, she's invited us up to the Fontaflora Brewery on NC 126, just beyond the Patty's Creek entrance, tentatively for solar and evening observing. If you haven't been up there for this event, I highly recommend it. It's really great. They've been very good to us, and it's a really good time up there. And then on Saturday, August the 6th, back at Lake James State Park, public observing. I don't have any details on that. I'm assuming it's an evening thing from 8 till 11.
So what time is Nora asking us to be there?
Where? Lake James?
Fontaflora.
She said afternoon solar observing. And I put on there noon, but we can adjust anything.
When are they open?
I don't know.
That would be a good thing to know.
We'll have to find that out.
Well, that's why everything that says tentative, we can play around with it. I just want
I'd
to
say
hold
if
the
we're going
dates.
to do solar in evening, why don't we do it like 6 o'clock or something?
Well, that might work fine.
6 or 7.
We don't want to wait too
Well-
long because I know the sun gets down behind those hills over there.
I can text Nora and ask her what their
Yeah, we
thoughts
can-
are
we-
when they want, what their thoughts are too.
Yeah.
Let me write that down.
But we got to finalize those things. But that's what I've got on there right now.
And I'm sorry, I missed the Lake James.
Lake James, August
Sixth.
6th, Saturday, August 6th. I'm assuming it'll start around 8 o'clock and it'll include some kind of a program. And I'm assuming that this will be up in the parking lot, up there where it normally would be.
I'll be
It's been 3 years since any of us have been up there. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea how my leg's going to be at that time either. That's what I've got.
All right.
When we get to new business, I have something to bring up potentially, and actually it might be old business because we discussed it last time.
So that's it for the calendar then?
That's all I got.
Sounds good. And yeah, we can go over logistics on that other stuff in our, as we go forward. Observing reports. I think we can skip right over school reports right now. So, Dwayne never did send anything to you, did he, for a Science Center report?
double check.
Okay.
I didn't
I
do
saw
anything.
7, meteors in an hour and a half.
Big meteor shower is supposed to happen, maybe, maybe not.
I do have complaints.
I saw 7.
7?
7.
Awesome.
I
Some
saw
people
hour
saw
and a
some,
half.
I
I
didn't.
stayed out till about 2 that morning, and there was a distinct rise in activity, and then it kind of stopped.
Well, that's cool. You're not just to see us.
So, I think the storm kind of happened. That's just based on what I saw from my backyard.
Gotcha.
But I saw more meteors that night than I had seen for the past couple of years.
Awesome.
The Peanut Club had a great night at Fountain Park on Sunday night, May the 29th.
Gotcha.
Saw
Gotcha.
a few meteors, but not much. It's a good night.
Awesome. Not too windy?
No, got a little cold.
I'll take cold.
It was weird. We didn't leave till about 2. It was a long drive back. Oh my God.
Little bleary eyed down 77 for a while.
Done that a few times.
Any other observing reports?
I've got Dwayne's report on the back.
All right. Well, no other observing? All right, then what's Dwayne have to say?
Dwayne says, I don't have much to report.
Well, thanks for that.
Thank you, Dwayne.
We have a summer button series going on at the moment, occurring Thursday nights. Public comes in to do activity, and then they get a free, cool Science Center button on that theme.
Merit badges.
Yeah, that's what it is. I heard one of the many errands talking about it on Hal Rose show one morning. One or two of these themes, I think, but I don't have the info in front of me, are on astronomy themes. Shows we're doing now are Zulu Patrol, I am assuming this is planetarium,
Yeah.
and a new one called Expedition Reef.
I've seen something about that.
I hope
one.
it's not that fish show again.
This is a different show.
No, I think it's about legalizing marijuana. About coral, no, it says it's about coral reef ecology and preservation. Soon we will be revisiting the planned astronomy exhibit and I think completely starting over on it. We just could never make any headway on it and now will likely be contracting out the work to redo that space. Started mostly from scratch. That's about all for now. Thanks.
Amen.
They're gonna spend more money contracting it out.
Pay us to do it. We'll come up with
than if they
something.
would-
They want to spend the money, they can hire us.
There's
Um,
Frank.
There's Frank.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, so
Frank, be advised that we are streaming this meeting live on the internet right now.
Not like in person.
So we got visitors out there.
all right.
Here you go, Frank.
So then next, I'm gonna slide in the Bob Fest portion of our meeting.
Frank, have a seat right over there right now.
Um,
Watching the camera. Thank you.
We did have a brief, debrief meeting. What was that? 2 weeks ago or so. It was kind of lightly attended, so we didn't get through a whole lot. But one of the things we wanted to focus on, like we've been talking about, is doing a lot of our business here, and so we don't have to meet as many Sundays to do that. Because, you know, a couple hours eats up your time on a Sunday. But a couple of us, we've talked, want to have a meeting with the Science Center just to see where everything stands, to get that relationship built back up a little bit. With Megan leaving, it kind of, our liaison kind of rolled out on us, so we got to try to build that back together, glue that relationship up a little bit. Not anything bad. There's anything bad going on there. It's just we need to be back in the know a little bit with things. I know we've tried to contact a few people about speaking already. I know I never did hear back from Panovich one way or the other. Has anybody else actually spoken to anybody?
Nope.
I know Gary was working on what's his name again? I'll think of it in a minute. Does the YouTube stuff.
Oh, Trevor or somebody.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure,
And I'm not sure where that stands right now. Anybody else have really anything Bobfest wise? I mean, we're just kind of in that lull right now.
Well, it's probably time to start looking for presenters. To start not looking, but coming up with a list, you know,
Yeah.
a long list, and not inviting anybody, but coming up with a long
Did
list.
Dan Cake get his honorarium?
I'll need to check and see if I sent it or not. I sent a bunch of stuff and it may still be sitting in there, you know. Was he asking about it?
No, I'm just wondering.
Yeah, he'll get it. And I got one for John O'Neill also. If he doesn't have it, it's still sitting in there.
Still sitting where?
There's a bunch of stuff in here that I haven't gotten done yet.
Sitting somewhere.
I'm overwhelmed.
But yeah, we definitely have to start getting that, because I mean, by the time you ask people, wait for them to respond, maybe have to ask some different people, it can take up some time.
This is still gonna be what, before Saturday?
It is going to be, I don't have the date on me right now. It's the,
Hey, January, I guess. Are we going back to the January thing?
yeah. It's, let's see. What would that be? The 28th.
28th, before Saturday.
Yeah. So,
Late this year.
a little bit. Nothing else there? Well, I think about, what is this? This is June. Any suggestions on an actual date to meet as a group, though? To have our next group meeting that is just Bob Fest.
The Bob Fest
Yeah.
focus? I mean,
Yeah.
Are we gonna do that, or are we gonna try to have Bob Fest discussions during these meetings?
Well, we're going to do them here, but do we need to have
Like a
one just to
kick-off
get a
meeting?
big one to get everything organized?
Probably.
This is June. I mean, my July is booked. Pretty much every.
I'd say August at the earliest.
Sundays, August. Going August 7th?
September. Well, if we do Lake James the 6th,
Is that?
that'll be the next day.
Go the 14th? Put something in my calendar here.
But I think in the meantime, you know, we'll meet twice more, and we can start talking about desired speakers. Did we get any
Yeah.
feedback from?
Yes, I don't have it in front of me right now.
Well, we did get some.
Not by specific people,
Like
just some
concepts.
topics.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, we will have 2 meetings between now and then, won't we? So if you have people that you can think of, you know, start jotting them down. And we get some people to contact some folks once we have a good list. Okay. Pushing forward. Old business. Joe, you said you had a piece of old business you wanted to.
The James Webb Space Telescope is supposed to present its first images on July 12th. The Science Center had approached us about doing something in conjunction with them. I got 2 emails from one of the many Aarons, this particular Aaron Graves, and the library would be happy to sponsor an event for adults. That would be July 12th. I'm still not 100% sure what
Hey.
they want.
We all have our causes.
They mentioned something here about an adult night and a Saturday. I'm not sure what that refers to.
Now, the thing on the 12th, the actual day, are they looking at an evening thing or a day thing?
I don't know.
What's the dates on those, Joe?
It says, okay, so here,
That's the YouTube speaker.
hang on just a second here. Let me see if I can get it from there. Okay, that's from NASA. Okay, the expert panel, especially for community events, hosts and audiences, will begin at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on July 12th. So that is something that, if I'm reading this correctly, NASA is going to host this and broadcast it, and the Science Center is going to hold an event
Basically a watch party type
in
of concept.
conjunction with this event. Our function, I think, would be to provide expert commentary. Which I don't do for free anymore. So,
So you think they're asking us to provide expert commentary about what NASA is saying?
Or would they want just us to do
that is
Stuff.
my,
Or did we just set telescopes up and look pretty? When
I
is
don't
this
know.
anyway?
That's at 6 o'clock, you said in the evening, with that they were going to start? I hear you said 6.
NASA is going to broadcast an event. This is coming from somebody, Peter
The 12th.
Suey,
Oh,
that Goddard, up at NASA Goddard in Greenbelt. Uh, I'm quoting from this email from NASA. The expert panel, especially
There's
for
the minutes
community
so far, if you
events,
can read them.
hosts and your audiences will begin at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on July 12th. There will also be 2 expert panels, especially for community events on Saturday, July 16th at 2 p.m. in Spanish and then at 3:30 in English.
I would
16th
definitely be the 3:30.
16th is the Fonta Flora Day, so we
And
may
there's
want to
another one
move some
on
stuff
August
around.
14th and September 9th, and October 13th, but there's been no mention of all of those.
Right.
So the whole idea here is to generate a little bit of publicity over the first light images coming back from James Webb. Again, I still don't know,
That's for the second half of the meeting.
So people don't bail on you.
I still
Gary
don't
didn't
know
like our
exactly
Oh,
what,
sign again?
So we're supposed to on the 12th do something, we just don't know what.
we just don't know what.
Or when.
We talked about this in the
Right.
last meeting, and I went back to
Already had a
Aaron and
list
said, is there
for it.
interest? And I texted Aaron, yes, there
Sure.
is. And 5 minutes later, these emails showed
Is
up,
there,
and
is
that's the
there a
last.
time on the 12th?
Yeah, I just,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock was when NASA's doing their thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's when they want us to do something. They may want us there ahead of time. Well, let me ask this.
now
Is,
Aaron says, I'm open to offering an adult event on the release evening and then a family day on the Saturday. I don't know what that means.
Adults event probably needs alcohol.
that's,
And I don't know which of those is the 12th. I don't have a calendar in front of me.
well, then let me ask this.
Probably
The 12th, how many, anybody in this room know that they're available on the 12th?
Wait a minute, the 12th? That sounds like a meeting night for us.
No, that's Tuesday.
That's a Tuesday?
I have no
July
idea.
12th is the Tuesday,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, Tuesday. I thought I heard Thursday. Never mind.
And I think I am out of town that day. I think I'm in Greensboro on
And so
that
apparently
day.
the community event is on Saturday the 16th. That's what I see in the NASA email. I don't see anything from Aaron mentioning the date for the Saturday. I'm assuming that means July 16th.
Now, and that's the Fauna Flora date too for up at Lake James.
So I'm not sure. And then she sent me,
So we're gonna do something
she
somewhere.
asked if I would be
sometime.
interested in providing a context talk after their presentation.
Here's what I suggest we do. We get a hold of Tracy, and we say, Tracy, we are being asked to do things with no details, no specifics, and we very much like to be helpful, but we need to be asked specific dates and times.
Help me
and
help
told
you.
What we need to do. I mean, we really need, this is
We
2
need
or 3
guidance.
times that we've been asked to do things with such a nebulous request that we can't respond. And I just feel like, you
Yeah,
know,
we need to know what they want because we need to know who to have there.
yeah, and,
And they may not know at this point what they want. Either.
right, and the.
They're hoping we will fill in the
And a
blank.
lot of it has to do with, I mean, James Webb, it's already started its work. So the engineers are already using the thing. It's doing its job. And so what they're looking to do is to use this as a PR thing, basically. And a lot of it probably depends on what that reveal on the 12th looks like. And see, NASA's not gonna tell you about that.
Well,
That's
but
embargoed.
I've read about NASA, I've heard of them, and I know that they schedule things. So NASA probably knows the times that they're gonna be running this
Well, yeah,
video.
maybe that's 6 p.m. Or 2 p.m.
6, I think she said.
So-
But what does the science
What
center
we
use?
need to
But-
find out, and I think we just skip these folks and go straight to Tracy and say, we wanna be helpful. The club meets once a month. We can organize by email, but it's best if we have useful, clear information when we're asked to do things. Can you help us get that?
Is this a streaming thing from
We don't have any
NASA
idea.
occurring on the 12th?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will be the first image release for the James Webb.
So then we're going to try to get some clarification, I guess. And
Well,
Go.
my preference would be, that.
If we're gonna meet with Tracy about that, we need to do that soon.
Yeah, 'cause we're talking a month.
Today's the 9th, so we're looking at 1 month.
But I'm saying we can, what I would do is maybe reply to Erin and ask her for specifics, copy Tracy on it so she's aware that we're having a communication problem. And then we can include that in our communication with Tracy when we ask to meet with her about Bob Fest. And that is, let's kind of revisit how our communication relationship works and find out how we can do this better. But my suggestion was going to be, if we have an option to do Fauna Flora or Science Center James Webb on the 16th, I say we go with James Webb because, they're kind of our community partner, and then we see if we can do Fauna Flora another date. I mean, we've always done things to support NASA and JPL and the Night Sky Network and the Science Center. So I think we ought to do that, but we just need some
And I don't
daggone
think that's an issue
time.
for the 12th, but for the 16th. That's what you just said. the
Yeah.
16th.
yeah, 16th would be
I'd say
the conflict
we
day.
bail on Fauna Flora and go with the Science Center just simply because of that,
Community.
well, and also the NASA thing is when NASA does it. We're not gonna have them pick a different time, but daggone.
But we do got to find out what they want us to do.
What do they want us to do and when do they want us there? And tell us.
And the 16th, I mean, if it's early in the day, you could almost go there and go on to Fauna Flora if you wanted to.
Wait a minute.
We've done that on
We got a conflict on the 16th?
astronomy.
Nora sent that as a date, is that the brewery would like something on the 16th
Have
of
we got
July.
something else going on the 16th?
Well, maybe this thing with the Science Center / NASA.
You said the 12th.
There's 2
And
of
the
them.
16th.
Yeah,
Oh,
two.
and the 16th.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would request that you reply and say the Science Center, or the club is definitely interested, but we need specifics, period. What do you want us to do and when do you want us to do it? And copy Tracy and see what happens. And unfortunately, the planning that I'm hearing is going to result in a response that will say, well, what would you like to do? That's not how it works. I mean, we can set up telescopes, or we can come and bring ball bearings and flour. What do they want us to do?
We come make hamburgers.
Yeah, I'll set up a grill and flip some burgers. I mean, that's no problem.
I'll spray wash your parking lot for you.
Yeah, well,
We just need to know what they want.
so will you email her back and just see if?
I was hoping to avoid it because I'm just trying to avoid certain things right now, but I'll respond, and I'll do that.
Thank you, sir.
The one that wrote me into the
Well, for pay. You can't-
Hey, money
That's
talks.
just it.
Yeah,
There's no
For,
money.
for pay, sure.
And,
Money talks.
Any other old business? Any other old stuff? Jeff, do you have any old?
they've gone too long.
Nope.
Let's see what we have from the last minute, which I hadn't read yet. Other than the PST was found.
Yeehaw.
In that box right there, over here,
So glad we found
All right.
what's the probability that the PST is in that box right now?
Don't ask questions if you don't want the answers to. Chance it is, chance it isn't. Just like your lottery odds. Chance you win, chance you won't.
What are the chances that there are 2 PSTs in here?
0.
1 in 3.
It's the money hole.
Modified.
All right. Any new business?
But Gary, why don't you read, I'm going to suggest, well, we have him read the minutes.
Well, there's no old business for the minutes yet.
Still need to read the minutes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I was just going to do that after we went through this part, but you can go ahead if you want to read the minutes.
Club meeting, May 12th, 2022. After dinner at Brookwood, we met at LMO at 7:30. David called the meeting to order. 7 members present, 1 Zoom. Gary Addington read the March minutes. April minutes still outstanding. $2,390 in checking, $852 in PayPal, 707 small telescopes, 191 LMO operations account, $1,138 in the Bob Fest account. No school report, no science center report. Observing reports. Joe gave update on planet watch in early morning hours. Bob observing sun in the past week using quark filter. Last public night was cloudy. Others have been very good. Calendar, Barnes & Noble, May 14th, 12 to 9, Astronomy Day. LMO, Sunday the 15th, 9 till whenever, lunar eclipse. Public night, May 20th. Sunday the 22nd, Bob Fest Debrief at Science Center. Bob Fest Corner, meeting with Science Center to set up relationship for future meetings and Bob Fest. Old business, PST has been found. New business, David has canceled his Zoom account, alternative needed. Discussion to offer YouTube for our meetings, it being a one-way platform. We will try out and further investigation. Joe brought from the Science Center to see if we can do something when Webb Space Telescope releases first images. We'll discuss at future meetings. M27 Awards, next meeting June 9th, Science Center. I will do refreshments. Motion to adjourn.
I just had a deja vu.
That was glory.
Do we have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Against?
Minutes accepted. All right, now to our new business. What do we have for new business? Anybody?
Bob wanted to say something. What do you got, Bob?
About the dome shutter. I'd like somebody to contact maintenance and get the motor back that they came and removed and have it somewhere. Now we don't have the motor. I'd just like to get that motor back.
So they have possession of the motor at the moment.
I will call Moretz.
I assume with the intention of fixing it was why they removed it?
Yes.
I think they thought, I think Bob said they thought they were gonna find parts for it.
That's what I was told, that, they would try to find a motor, a substitute for that motor.
Oh, they wanted to just change out the whole
Somebody
thing.
told me that. I thought you told me that. Anyway, maintenance came and took the motor out. So now, they'll have the motor. If I had the motor, I could get some gears made and put it back on there and put it back on and work.
So we either need the old one or a new one.
Well, if they would find a new motor that
Right.
they could put on there, but I don't know anything about what's going on.
So you said you'll give it a call and see.
It's been a long time.
Kevin
since
Moretz and see where we are.
Anybody else? New business?
I was toying with the idea of suggesting that we hold an early morning planet event, but I don't think that'd be a good idea because we got too many trees out there in the way. We wouldn't be able to see down to the horizon.
Would it be worth doing somewhere else?
Up on the roof might
It's-
gain you a little bit.
The trees are too high. I'm not gonna suggest that, but.
Yeah. But if somebody here would like to go somewhere in the morning.
Well, I mean, you know, my backyard, I've got clear down to the horizon.
Right.
Just all the planets right there in a line, in one swatch.
That's
Be a
pretty
good,
cool.
telescope situation, but it would necessitate opening up between midnight and sunrise,
Right.
and it's during the week, I think.
Well, I mean, it's not specifically one day.
Well, no.
What about the last week of the
But
month?
Mercury's moving fast, and so,
Yeah.
you want to catch it right there when they're all visible in order.
Mm-hmm.
That's the PR, so that they're all right there. in
Right.
order. I don't know, but the tree line is way too high here, so
Gotcha.
I don't think it's worth it.
Anybody else?
We'd have to go somewhere else. And I don't know of a park or anything that would
I don't
To
know
get
off the top of my
get
head.
an even horizon, let alone negative, I think you'd be maybe something over Lake Norman or Lake
That's
James.
what I was just gonna say on Lake.
No James in that good, it's, you got some, but,
I don't think you have a good view to the east.
not really.
Oh.
You'd be looking across the lake, across the trees. About there.
You can go to the coast.
You can do that, Edisto's a great place.
My next door neighbors are in Edisto this week.
Oh, good. Good for them.
What was that boat landing we went
Yeah, I'm trying to
to?
think of that Stumpy.
Stumpy Creek.
Stumpy Creek. But its view is to the southwest.
Yeah.
Wrong direction.
I wonder if the unit, off of Unity Church in Denver would be that probably would be a bad viewing area there. The Beatty's Ford access to that Unity Church Road.
They usually light up those places pretty bright.
Yeah, it can get, cause they have a little park area there too. But, I don't know.
Parking lot at Trinity's pretty good, and I can cut the power off out there at the poles, but you still got other street lights.
Too many
out there,
streets.
right beside the police department. We don't have a good spot out there at, Conover Park anymore. They put in a gargantuan building where we used to get out there and try to observe things.
I guess everybody just have to try to find a spot and
Well, it might be worth going out in the community and looking, like if we know something is gonna happen towards the east, we could have an alternative
a little
location
scouting.
to where, you know, we have permission to use. And if there's something going on in the west in the evenings, have another place where we have a good view to the west, we can have one maybe to the south, because our view to the north here is pretty good. But, I don't know, just something maybe long term.
Just look at directional locations, basically.
Locations that are optimized for either direction.
Not a bad thought.
Maybe one of the area golf courses.
It's
Hey,
private
we're getting
though.
on the golf course, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, we
We
run
get
into
golf
private
course.
issues.
Well, I don't need, we could just trespass.
Hop the fence and go out on the ninth green.
There's one spot off of Highway 10, way out there beyond Blackburn. I forget the name of it. It's a road. It cuts off to the left, and you've got this humongous. It's flat all
Out near
over.
the landfill?
No, well beyond the landfill. But you look at east, to Newton and Conover, and back this way, and it is you're elevated. So
Yeah,
that's-
there's a negative horizon out
Yeah,
there.
I forget the name of that. It's
Is that off Plateau Road?
Somebody's talked about.
But is there a place there you can go without getting thrown off of it?
yeah, side of the road.
Need to have permission from somebody somewhere.
Somebody
Joe
owns it.
Mack, our Australian friend in Durham, he is gonna he put up a sign. This is a real interesting guy. He has staked out an observing location on the side of the road where he's going to be. He's put signs up and everything. Spectacular, super colossal planetary display, June 24th, be here. And people know him as the telescope. He's kind of the crazy telescope guy who drives an hour to this location to get out there. And he's gonna be there.
Makes me want to drive by and pull the signs up now.
He even, there are woods down off the side of this road. He brings up stumps to put his equipment on. He took one home and made a table out of it. So he's just creating these observing locations around, and he goes for, 4 a.m. walks. He gets up at like 3 a.m. and he'll go for his walks, and he'll take his telescope with him, and he'll show people things in the sky.
At 4 a.m., I don't think he's showing a lot of people much.
You'd be surprised. There are a lot
Are they
of
sober?
walkers out at that time of day.
Yeah, there are. So,
Business people who go walking before they go to
Yeah.
work.
we don't have any location right now.
So,
I do in Gaston County, but that's not for us.
Try to stay out of Gaston County as much as I
It
can.
might be this place I'm seeing on here called Hefner Road.
That's a possibility.
Tryon Park is fantastic. That's where we went to see Haley's in the
Mhm.
early morning hours.
I forget what it is. It's been years since I've been out that way.
So
So, nothing else there, we'll move on.
Okay.
All right. What we M27 awards.
Now go back to new business, which is
Oh.
actually probably old business, but
Well, dang, you
we,
go in reverse.
we need a plan and to take action on a plan to deal with all the belongings that are crammed in the buildings and the trailers and all that. And I don't know how we make that happen, but otherwise that stuff's just gonna sit and sit and sit.
So we need a work day to
Well,
get
we need a
organized.
plan to
Right.
decide what to do with all the stuff. We can come down here and wander around for 2 hours, but that's, we need a plan to decide what we're gonna do. And, I mean, we've gotta be comfortable enough with throwing some stuff away or giving some stuff away that we can do that.
I suggest something to think about is have a yard sale for our club members and other club members who want to come in, and if they see something that they want there, if they will give us a donation for it or something like that, if it's worth anything. But there's a lot of stuff in there, like, I don't know how many magazines we got, but we gotta quit collecting magazines, boys and girls.
magazines rarely go away.
You told me to bring them down here. I resisted, but you told me to.
Twisted his arm and all of a sudden,
I
poof,
wasn't
there
going
they
to
were.
be yelled at.
They have these wonderful blue barrels all over Conover called Recycle. They would work really well in there.
Well, then, in that vein of conversation, then, we obviously need to get our stuff organized and brought in. One thing that's holding us up a lot, though, we need shelves. We need to do something about that.
One thing that we might want to look into, I thought about this. If we contact the school maintenance people, they might accidentally have some library shelves.
Some
that they
surplus.
take- Yeah, that would be ideal for in here, ready-made, good-looking shelves and everything.
Or they might be willing to make some.
Well, my bet is, based on what I saw the last time I was up there a long time ago, they got this stuff.
Surplus.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth asking about.
Yeah.
You wanna include that with your phone call, Gary, or is that a different department?
I can ask Bill.
Something's
Ask
happening
Deb.
right there, Jeff.
What?
There's a big yellow thing.
I don't know where that.
Are we okay with just any shelves then?
Well, we'd have to have a couple people go look at them.
I think we need to specify some measurements.
Yeah.
Like, we had some ideas about
That's asking too much.
what?
Measure.
Bob
has a drawing
Yes.
of his suggestion of where to put the shelves that is probably measured or scaled down to the millimeter. I think we're probably ready to go.
The dimensions of the wall there, that we got space to put shelves in.
This is your display.
We've got 8 feet right here, and we've got 8 feet right here.
2 8 feet.
16 inches
No,
right there,
because we're
and
leaving a space for
24
it
inches
to
right
distinguish.
there.
Yeah. Gotta have at least 6 foot. 6 foot from the extension strip, I think. Gotta have open.
6.
I think so.
Down here.
I know it's minimum 4, but I think it's 6.
Open the door.
Isn't that right?
I can hear better now.
Me too.
But, but really, we're gonna be at a standstill until we have something to put stuff on in here.
I agree. Let's see if we can get shelves in, then that kind of moves us toward being able to pull some stuff in. And then the other question is, so the first step may be sorting through and designating a place for donation, sale, trash, and keep.
Well, one thing we can establish and do this right now is put out the word, do not bring anything else down here. Magazines, do not give us photographs or CDs or DVDs or
Chairs,
anything.
couches.
Yeah.
Sound
There ain't no
systems.
chairs or couches, well, there's chairs here, no couches. But, yeah,
Old van seats especially.
they're gone,
It's gone.
all of that's gone, Bob,
I would
that's been gone
think
for a
nowadays
year.
that any of the magazines and things could just be recycled, because
Yeah.
you can get all of those on CDs, can't you?
It's all, all
Put a
digital.
tag on that chair there, says $10 on that one right there.
Right.
I will.
There's a
We'll pay you
story,
$10 to take.
story in the last month, not last month, but the most recent Sky and Telescope. It's in the letters. A guy reported that he has finally finished reading every Sky and Telescope issue that was ever produced. And he was able to do, I think, all of them but the first 2 years in paper. And now he's working on reading every Sky and every telescope issue produced before they came together to become Sky and Telescope. And that's all gone, he said that he can't find very many of those in print. But
Right.
you're right, everything has been
Everything's
digitized
digital.
with Sky and
Online.
Tel. I don't know about
By the way,
astronomy.
we do have digital copies of astronomy and sky and telescope here.
We're not current though.
Well, we're not current, but we're up through about the early 2000s.
Well, speaking of all this rearrangement, we've got a problem in the greenhouse.
And that
We've
was
got, well, there's water in there, there was the last time I looked, there's a lot of stuff that is, there's a bucket of nails where the bucket has been broken away and the nails have taken on the shape of the bucket. I thought only
They
liquids
kind of
did
rusted
that.
together.
They have rusted into the shape, or cold
Fungal
welded.
nails.
There's no physical bucket there in the sides.
Really?
Yeah,
I'll show
put
you.
$1,000
That
in
is,
your
that's,
sculpture.
that's folk art right there.
And I thought about taking a picture of it because I knew nobody would believe me. And then there's old
That's
wood out
phenomenal.
there. I'm afraid there may be, looks like snakes.
You're more likely to find bees
I
out
will
there.
guarantee there's some
I
snakes
know
out
there's
there.
wasps out there.
It needs cleaning up,
It
it needs
needs-
to schedule a day to do it.
And there's a lot of old scrap
Get people
wood
here and tickle it.
out there. There's several mounts in various stages of dismembership. Good, I mean, there's a big Meade equatorial pier out there. There's a lot of stuff. I think we need to make it so that it's safe to go in there as well. It looks like a lot of old construction stuff that we never
That's
got rid
probably
of
what it was.
the last time we cleared it out. You know, when we redid the roof and everything there. So
And you're probably right. The bad part is we're deciding to wait till summer to clean out the greenhouse.
there's some old carpet out there that's waterlogged. You're gonna go see that bucket, aren't you?
Fall project.
Get some-
Yeah, that's a cool weather project.
Before we all
for sure.
sophisticate ourselves.
But anyway, I just,
No, I think cleaning it out's good.
Cleaned out, but, yeah, a good cleanup.
no rodents in the sink, like we encountered
Oh, that's
that one
good.
time where there was
That's
a
good.
mouse in the sink.
Well, I tell you what, if you guys will work on whatever's in there, I'll start, since I put most of the garbage out here in the Emporium, I'll start cleaning it out. And
We need to get a mobile incinerator. Just to-
Some maintenance work that needs to be done on the buildings. The roof on the greenhouse needs to be replaced.
completely,
Well, yeah. I say replace it with aluminum or galvanized sheet.
it
There's no
doesn't,
reason for it to be the plastic.
no.
No.
Well, I mean,
I
we're
mean,
not,
that-
we don't want
The
light.
stuff is so thin, you know, I'm surprised it's not blown off, you know.
That's gonna be decent.
I'm sure it's leaking, you know.
Get some of this composite stuff that's.
And there's a hole right there in the front. It's not a hole, it's just a place where there's no plexiglass. And I'm sure stuff's been blowing in there too.
That's, that plexiglass was not the best idea.
That's something that,
They did Lexan.
maintenance needs to be contacted about. You know, it had to be a contractor project or something to
There
just
is,
replace the roof on it, you know.
there's no likelihood that that thing will ever be used as a greenhouse again.
Oh, no,
I'm
there's
pretty
no-
sure- pretty
No
sure.
possibility.
I'm wondering if we call to get the roof replaced, if they're just not gonna say, we're gonna tear that
We're gonna
off
tear
and be
it
done
off,
with it.
Yeah.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
Well, that's what, I mentioned it to, some of them, they said, do you want it torn down? I said, no, we need it for storage. So, but,
We could change our mind on that.
it's
I
still,
think it would make a nice warm room on public nights when we have a lot of people, if we could fix it up and make it.
the structure is not
Habitable.
rotted yet, at least, as far as I can tell. I mean, if the roof could be replaced, that's a easy job for a contractor to do, you know? But we're gonna have to pay them to do it.
I would-
If we start losing the framing in there, then yeah, it's time for that thing to go.
Well, that's it, you know, when that starts rotting, you gotta tear the thing down.
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling maintenance is gonna say we can tear it down for free with their guys, or like you said, hire somebody
I think we need
to.
it out there for our storage, our good junk. We got things like ladders.
Right,
I mean,
right. No, I mean, it's a valuable space.
Or we could get another building out here.
I say we go 2 stories. We just start stacking them.
The roof
Get a
on
shipping
the old
container.
storage building needs roofing on the north side. You and,
Which one?
the old storage building needs a second coating, a second roofing. put on the north side.
You
Put it
mean
on the south side,
the little
Right.
building right here?
the old storage
The
building.
old storage.
The one in the middle.
Middle building.
Not the Emporium.
We started having to put signs up for titles for
Now,
all our
the
buildings.
Emporium could probably use another coat of stain
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something.
Oh, yeah. You
And
could-
the
And the
Emporium
door,
has
I was
walls.
noticing the doors on the Emporium, those are custom built doors and they,
I broke the doorknob
could
on the
probably
side
be
storage room
replaced.
there. I'll have
They
to
need
go
to,
show you.
something needs to be done about them, they're
The
too.
knob came off.
Oh, okay.
So we got a lot of stuff we need to do.
Is anybody making a list of all this stuff?
Yeah, it's some maintenance projects for the future, you know, whenever we can get to it, get maintenance to do it, or get maintenance to get contractors to do it. Or somebody.
So we have a roof, well, two, greenhouse roof.
Will they do the, storage building roof since that's not part of the structure?
Nope. That I don't think they will, since that's ours, not the.
They don't know that, do they?
We could do a roof, that's no problem.
David and
Yeah.
Tom Curtis put it
Yeah.
on the south side.
Yeah, we
years
can-
ago.
I mean, that's a decently
When we
easy
got to build the
project.
south side roof, gets more sun, and it was in worse shape. So just put a second layer of coat.
Doing
roofing on.
roof's no big deal, we could do that.
But I mean, you can look in the building and see it's got leaks in there. You
Yeah,
know,
we
it's,
need to take care of that.
in these roofing.
Or we could just dump the whole thing into the lake and be done with it.
You could tear it down and build a new building, yeah, they got the money.
These sort of match.
So those are the structural issues. The motor is part of this as well.
Yeah.
And
Motor's the
then,
priority.
And the shelves.
right now.
and then shelves that allow us then to start sorting, keep, throw away, sell.
The key word on the shelves is library type shelves and cabinets.
And it's got to be.
We need-
What,
We
and
need to get in
cabinets too?
Contact with somebody and let us go up there and look at them
Yeah.
and see what we
We
got
do
that
that.
we could use. If we can do
Well,
it.
I've got the dimensions, you've got the dimensions right here, we're 16 inches deep right here. We need no more than, let's see, 1, 2,
Well, got all the dimensions over there.
we need about 4 feet or 6 feet on this end. I wanna leave 2 feet open around where the fire extinguisher is. And over here, we got 8 feet.
look up
Library
that
shelves should
footage.
be more than
Nope.
about
I'm
10
going
inches
to
deep, should they?
What's that?
text
Library
our
shelves
librarian
aren't
right
more
now
than
and see if she
what
wants to enter that
I mean,
library
just something
shelves.
to put
Yes.
our books on.
Yeah.
And if we have something that, some kind of deeper cabinets or something, you know, we can deal with more shelves. We've got some big items here.
Who made that blue cabinet there?
That one was here whenever that was here before the observatory. That was a school cabinet. This is what, whenever they were raising money for this place, according to what Lucille told me, they were selling a lot of candy, and they stored the candy in this thing, and it was probably in Lucille's classroom. So this thing is probably 50 years old or more.
That's collector's item.
These other shelves right here I made that one, this one right here is a school shelf, and everything else.
You wanna paint that cabinet with the roll paint that we got?
Whatever you wanna do.
Yeah, I mean, we've got, been down here some
I like the contrast.
work day, the cabinet could be painted.
This is made in Blue Devil Blue. I don't know what this color is, but this
Well,
is
I
made
mean,
in
we
Blue
got cans
Devil
of
Blue.
water paint.
Surplus
Could be
robin's
used.
egg balloon.
Just as long as it's not Bob Hunt gray.
That could be painted up there if somebody wanted to paint it.
Blue and gray camo.
There's something.
Boy, the Navy now?
Still needs to do up here and outside to seal
Yeah, we got a mess over
the, they
there.
haven't got to that.
Gary, that's on
Another
your list.
reminder,
Yeah.
Sealing the
They're
outside
gonna
of the
be like,
north
stop
wall.
calling us.
Well, before with that list, we don't want to go to them with a grocery list here.
no,
It starts with what is the priority of all these things that,
Sealing that wall.
so that go with that for,
And the motor.
in the motor. And the motor, that might be as simple as just bring back what we
I
have.
just wanna get it back. I don't know
Yeah.
what they did with it.
So we can start with that, cause we start giving them a list, they're gonna start getting annoyed. They were great with the dome, but at some point,
We ought to be able to find a new gearbox of some sort to put in that motor. Might not be ideal, but.
If Gail could remember our names, he could make one for us.
That's kinda sad.
Yeah, God.
uh,
I don't
number one. It's kinda getting that way.
Did Gail Rigsby make that motor?
No.
I didn't think so.
No. We just saw them.
So we
This
have
evening.
kind of a plan, and then a separate call will be to find out if they have any surplus shelving and
Yeah.
cabinetry.
And I
Because
just
that's not the
texted
same
about,
people, that's a different group of people.
yes, more than likely, which will be good. So we don't know the same people over and over. Anything else on the maintenance list before we move on? At this point, we're just shy of rebuilding the observatory, so.
Yeah.
All right. Go to our M27s then.
Well, I have one, and
What'd it be?
Bill, go ahead.
No, it wasn't the intro, I was just gonna say, you could also maybe contact the principal, cause at the end of the school year, if they have shelves that they're moving out of classrooms for any reasons, they may have them at the school here. Cause I know we had a room full of them when we ended one year.
It could be a
Maybe
pickup truck.
take
Every time I've been over there, there's been a different person in charge, so I don't know who's over there now.
They might give us junk that we would pawn off on somebody else. They might be like us, you know, here's some crap, take it, it's free.
Do you know the principal here?
Nah, not right now. But I asked our librarian, I just texted her because she's giving away about half our books. We have about a good third to half our library shelves are empty.
I would definitely check with, who's the guy in the maintenance office up there?
Kevin Moran.
Moretz. Definitely check with him.
Well, he wouldn't be the shelf guy probably,
He should
He
know
can
what's
give me
going
the-
but
on.
he can give you the name.
Point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
And with all the book banning going on, there should be more and more shelving.
No, that's just Troutman.
I was thinking and I wouldn't say it.
You have to think about how to say it so it gets a laugh and doesn't get people offended. I'm waiting on my M27.
Well, then say it.
All right.
We're waiting on you to talk.
Well, first off, coming back from the funeral, speaking of which, Gary and Joe, Bob, David and I, and Harold Human,
What about Eskridge?
Ivester, we'll tell you
No,
about that
that's a
in a
different
minute.
story.
That's what he's building up.
Gail Rigsby, who was the fellow by Gail?
I've never seen that.
No, I-
Johnny McDonald, he's a Charlotte Club member.
Yeah, and then
Pete
Kubiak,
Kabaki.
Kabaki,
Tobacco.
Pete was there.
Very
And
shadow.
I mean, they very much appreciated the astronomy community being there during visitation, and then they had the funeral for Barry afterwards, and it was nice. And Gail Rigsby, he did come in after it started. He was coming up from Weddington to Belmont to make an event at 5 o'clock. What a mess that had to be.
Absolutely.
But he did have trouble remembering our names. He recognized us, but he had trouble remembering our names, and readily admitted it.
He pointed to Bob and said, who's that?
Yeah, that was a little concerning.
I do that too.
But the story on Bob Eskridge is apparently they were having food before the visitation or something, but he was there before the visitation, and Phil, you were there.
I saw the pictures.
Oh, you
Johnny,
did?
Yeah, that's all.
Johnny showed me.
Okay, so, but somewhere or another, Bob Eskridge fell and busted his nose, and so
Oh, no.
he ended up getting some first aid cleaned up and taken
There was a
home by
nurse
whoever
there.
drove with him, so.
Cleaned him up.
But anyway, it
I'm
was,
sorry to hear
it was a
that.
nice send-off, and his family appreciated our presence.
Flowers look nice too. I noticed that.
Oh,
Just the first one.
that was ours?
Yeah, the first one when you.
We did send a peace lily, then, right?
Yep. And I forgot the receipt
Give me the bill
tonight.
when you got it.
I got it. I forgot.
So on the
I'm
way
gonna pick it
back,
up.
we were debating whether David's facial hair is a Van Dyke or a goatee.
And what was the?
I have not looked it up, but I think a goatee is
Pointed.
chin only, and Van Dyke is the whole muzzle, but I'm not real sure. Now, that'll be research we'll have to do between
Could be
you.
a good dyke.
That just sounds wrong. Let's just.
That's a gender choice.
So the M27 is watching the Indy 500. They at some point did a nice little video, kind of tribute to Jim Neighbors singing "One More Spring in Indiana," which he had done for years and years and years. And they just had great images, great video, and they followed the lyrics through this whole thing. And part of the last, it's really part of the end of the first verse. They always do the verse and a chorus, and that's it. And the last line is about the moon setting on the Wabash, the river. And they show this image of a waning gibbous moon. So you have horizon, yeah, you have river, and you have horizon, and you have waning gibbous moon here. So here it's darkened. And down here you have the setting sun.
Error.
And I just smacked my forehead and drank another beer.
A glorious double exposure.
So there's an M27 for you. They did not consult the network astronomer, apparently.
Anybody else have an M27? That would involve drawing, I'm impressed.
Well, yeah. I was looking for an image of it here.
The biggest thing that's been going on, I've been seeing a whole lot of garbage out there on social media about showing the alignment of the planets coming up on the 25th, all in a nice straight line, all real close together. Size and distance greatly skewed, and
Of course.
making people think they're going to look out here and see these giant balls in the sky.
Just like,
Just-
I just had a really cool idea.
it struck me the other day that I think we made it through at least one, maybe 2 Augusts without the great Mars hoax reappearing strongly. I don't remember hearing about it
You're right,
last year and
you're
year
right.
before.
It has kind of died out.
And the Mars hoax, remember, is
Let's start
that
it
in
up.
August,
Don't say it. You'll bring
Hop
it back.
online and
and Mars in August would appear as large as the full moon to the naked eye.
As large and as bright.
I don't think that's right.
I don't either.
I hope that's never the case, or we're in trouble.
Deep trouble.
Right here in River City.
All right.
It starts with an R and it rhymes with puce and it stands for pool or something like that.
Anything else for the good of the group before we shut this thing down?
Cheesy poofs, huh?
Starts with an R.
All right.
And it stands for pool, yeah.
Any volunteers for refreshments next time? Which we will be back at our normal spot at the Science Center next time.
Up the river.
No, I've got some significant Podfest pictures to
Look
get
at them here in a minute.
So, anybody for refreshments?
Stands for pool.
I will not, I'm not sure I'm gonna be here or not.
Shall I end the stream?
POOL?
Yeah, it's fine. Unless somebody's gonna put a chat in and say they wanna bring refreshments.
River City.
Going once.
I'm not there.
Thank you
Twice.
for joining us.
Send them away and let's have food.
How many people were, oh.
I'll show
Right.
you guys how this thing works here in a little bit.